Hello everybody, how you doing tonight? I hope that answer is tremendous. So just as I'm getting everything ready here, I would like to say welcome to Tracey Creating. I am Tracey, and throughout this video may you be inspired, learn something new, or simply relax while you're watching. Now that was pretty efficient tonight. Everything is opened up. I can see who comes into the chat and says hello. And I can also see if there are any questions being asked. So, my apologies for the delay, but here I am and we're ready to go. You can see this patterned Yupo paper down here, and just trying to make sure that you're in the best view. And so I had to prepare this ahead of time to give this time to dry. So it looks pretty good. This is masking fluid, and I did film myself doing it, and I also did try to quickly edit it and put it up onto YouTube so that you can see the process that I did to create it. Good morning to you, Christine in Miami. Did you make this paper? Christine, that's just about where I was getting to. Yupo paper. It is the A3 size. Hello, Sue. How are you? And what I used on top of it, which has a slightly green tinge to it, which is awesome because I didn't realize that, is this fine line masking fluid. So it's in a super nib fine tip. So it looks like that when it's all together. So it comes separate. So it'll come with a lid and then this separate. So you just transfer that over. Hello to you, Anne. Hope you're doing well. Sue is wonderful. That's awesome to hear it. Where did I get the A3 Yupo? I got that from my local art store. But I'm sure that you'll be able to get it at many art stores if you have one local to you, or if you shop online. So this, excuse me, see how the lid itself has a very fine wire in it, and that is to go inside of the fine tip here, so it will always be fresh. That gives it an extra seal, and you really have to concentrate to get it in there. There we go. To close it up, and that helps to keep the air out and it from clogging up the tip. So this is the first time I've used this one in particular. So as I mentioned, I was surprised that it looks green, so that's awesome. You can see when you're putting it down, it's not as green as it looks now, which you may not be able to tell. So it was a lot paler than that. Oh, you've been having trouble finding it. Okay. I will look up some others and see. This one is actually ArtSpectrum brand. Let me see. It's ArtSpectrum brand, and they are manufactured in Melbourne. So if you want to look that up and see how you go with that. Otherwise, I can help you out with that. You're loving this already. Awesome. Oh, hi, Sam. Twisted Art Lady is here. How you going? There we go. Thanks. You're very welcome. Whatever I can do to help. And, okay. So, yeah, so I did that ahead of time to give that time to dry up. Also, I shook this. This is a tip for you. I shook it, and I would suggest do not shake it. Because when I was trying to run the lines and some of the dots, they were full of bubbles. So do not shake is my recommendation. All right. So with this is actually inspired from Clara Lawrence and Erika Bauer. So Clara Lawrence has her own YouTube channel, and Clara Lawrence Art, I believe, and Erika is from Artist Till Death. And they caught up together and they did one of these. And I thought, how inspiring. I was completely inspired by it and have for a long time wanted to try it. But they did it on a cradle board, and I'm doing it here on the Yupo paper. So in my background, I have, this is a canvas board with a white plastic bin liner covering it. So there we go. You've seen Clara's. Yeah, it's gorgeous, isn't it? So totally inspiring, and I can't wait to share the end results of this with them both. So sapphire blue, blue violet, teal, senorita magenta. I'm going to put down a whole bunch of colours. Sunbright yellow with barely any left. I've got some greens. Rainforest green, tangerine. I do have just a pink. I think we'll go with that for the moment. And I also have a Color Blazer orange. Okay, so we're going to start off with adding a whole bunch of ink to the Yupo paper. And so sapphire blue here. Oops, don't get too close. Now the masking fluid is designed so that where you have the masking fluid, it keeps the colour away, stops the colour from getting underneath it. This is passion purple, no, blue violet. Should be checking that before I pick it up. Rainforest green. So once I spread this all around, put some of these colours in. And then let's go for some pink. And we'll add some more isopropyl alcohol. And move it around to loosen up the alcohol ink, and a bit of tangerine, a little bit there next to the pink. That looks nice. And also go in with some Sunbright Yellow next to that as well. Oh, that's right. I have to be very sparing with that. What a shame. Never mind. Okay, so we probably have enough colour, but I'm just going to throw a little bit of extra down in some of these areas. And we won't use the teal because I feel like we're good. So this one here, this bottle is isopropyl alcohol. It's just straight in there. And Maxwell Entertainment is here. Good morning to you, Trey. Thank you so much for that contribution to the channel. I really appreciate that. Let me get some party poppers. Popping a popping a popping a pop. Thank you. So you're going to enjoy this one, Trey. This is Alcohol Ink. And we're going to use masking fluid to have resisted areas. So once it's all finished, we remove the masking fluid and there should be white lines left. So let's just loosen up all the alcohol ink that we've just put down. So that was straight isopropyl alcohol. I'm actually going to grab the whole board and give it a bit of movement. See that? Before I bring any heat to it. So some areas look a little dark. So what I do for that is grab some paper towel. Just roll it up, bunch it up, whatever you see fit to do. And you can dab some off. Look at that. Especially around the edges where it resists going over the lip of the page. Let's just lift some off there and potentially in there. Okay, that looks good. Now let's get a little bit of heat on there and see. We might need to add a little bit more here. Let's get some movement going with the heat tool. So this is the Crafter's Choice heat tool that I've been testing out with recently. So okay, that is super cool already. So great looking. Thank you, thank you. It's gorgeous. The colors are wow. Awesome. I was a bit worried about some of these areas. Look a little bit dark. So for next time, what I need to remember from that is to go lighter on the darker, stronger colours. I think this section here, I'd like to lift some off. There we go. And this section here, as well as here. So really just patting it to lift it up and off. I even like how that looks. So my dark colours have definitely overtaken my lights. There's not much pink left because the darker ones took over. But what I'm thinking I might do is give it a... It's probably quite warm right now, so give it a bit of a run of alcohol. That way a little, bring it back a little, rocking it backwards and forward a little. And then we're going to go tilt all the way down. And if we can get some of these dark colours lightened up, I'll be able to add some more of the light colours. See, that's just so dark down there. You can see some of that movement coming back through. Rock it back and forth a little bit. You can see that alcohol ink move from side to side. Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. Just grabbing those end bits. I would like to see if I can get some more yellow back into it, maybe some pink in some of these lighter areas. So possibly in here. And just use brush to try and get that going. Be able to be a little bit more aggressive with my finger than the brush. And I think I'm happy to leave it there. I think that's pretty. I think the colours all go well together, even in this middle section, excuse me, where it's gone a little bit, what would I say? A mixed blurry green, a khaki-ish type green. I don't know. But now what I need to do, spectacular. Love it. Thank you so much. Dry it off fully now. And yeah, then we'll see how we go with removing the masking fluid. There we go. All right, so just give that a moment to cool down. You would have seen there that I was trying to dry underneath as well. So just to help get some of this wet ink that's still underneath to dry out. And mostly move that aside. So I would like to wipe that over before I do move on with this. So a little bit of spray. This is isopropyl alcohol. Just reactivate the alcohol, and with a part of the towel, wipe it over. You can get extra particular and completely wipe it off till it's white, but for the moment, I just wanted to have a cleaner background for you as much as possible. And I do think, now that I've been reminded of this, I do like how it looks when you spray it over the top of alcoholing. It gives it that very speckled, textured appearance. So, very tempted to try some on here. Spray some from up above. There we go. G'day, Doris. How you doing? Lovely to see you here. There we go. But I'll actually save that for another time because I don't want to not reactivate, but add any more moisture to this after we've just dried it off and now going to remove the masking fluid. So, all right. Here we go. Let's see if I can bring you down on this angle. Doesn't that look pretty? Okay, so with this, you just rub at it, or if you have trouble, you can use some tweezers and just capture it. And you can see as I'm pulling it upward, it's pulling away. And leaving a gorgeous, crisp white line. I have masking fluid all the way around my fingers. Okay. So try not to there we go. Just rubbing it along. Lifts it up as well. Let's see. Just giving it a rub in the direction it's going. And then you can pick it up and keep going with that. So there you can see how crisp that line is. Let's look at these. Just pinching the very top of that masking fluid and lifting it up. I love how amazing and white that is, how crisp it is. Can you leave the mask if you want? So I guess you could. If you like it to use it for the textured effect, I don't see why you couldn't. The only thing that comes to mind though is if it does naturally pull away after the fact. So say you framed it with a nice mat around it, and over time maybe the masking fluid does pull away itself and sag across the painting maybe. And this was a really fine one here too. Very fine line. So I prepared this about an hour before, when was it? An hour before going live. And that was plenty of time for the masking fluid to dry. And oh, it's amazing. And that's what it looks like. The more I touch it, the more it crinkled up. But yes, so I'm going to get a little bit more aggressive with this. And just trying to rub it a little bit firmer with my finger and get a few threads going at once. Otherwise, we'll be here all night. And you guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Doesn't that look cool? I really appreciate you. This is great fun experimenting, being inspired by some amazing artists. So, and also experimenting with how that goes with you. See, run my finger across the dots and it just comes off like that. So although I was a little bit concerned in the beginning, a little bit cautious with my tweezers. It seems as though you don't have to be quite as cautious as that, especially when the masking fluid is fully dry, the ink is fully dry. That looks fun. That looks fun on camera. It's pulling out those lengths. Okay, these dots. There we go, 1, 2, 3. You just have to make sure if you do really small sections that you get it all off maybe. Otherwise it might appear as though you have a blurred line. Let me just see. Could you have a colour, then the masking fluid, then your colours? Absolutely. I don't see why not, Anne. I think that's great. Yeah, see, Christine, love that idea, Anne. And Twisted, yes, Anne. Awesome. Yeah, you could do the background, then put the masking fluid on, and then go over the top. That's what I was thinking, and it appears as though we have agreements to that. So awesome. Thank you, everybody, for that. Come down, try and do some more multiple strings at once. Okay, let's go here, here, here. Let's do 4. See if we can get that nice flowing almost. There we go. Kind of looks like, you remember, it seems weird to say this as well, cassettes, and the tape inside them, and it would, when the cassette player would chew up the tape. And this is what it reminds me of. Just try and pick up this bunch of masking fluid. See how it's all curled up and everything. That reminds me of that tape. So okay, we're getting there. Let's turn it around. I do have to get some more dots from here. All right. That bit there, these ones here. How are we going? Yeah. It seems to be sold out everywhere in Oz. Oh, really? Which Kamar? The UV one, which I can't see sitting on my desk right now. Cassette tapes, I remember those. Come on. Serene, hello. How are you? Thanks for coming in. There's Gina Bina. How are you, lovely? So great to see you here. I know that you are wonderful and you leave comments on my videos. Thank you so much. Oh, you sprayed Kamara before. Okay. I totally missed that, Doris. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. So it is rubbery. If I didn't mention that before, the masking fluid, and you could probably see that as well. As I peel, it's like stretches a bit. Absolutely. This is inspired by Clara and Erika when they did it together. So as I mentioned before, Clara Lawrence Art is Clara's channel, and Artist Till Death, Erika, were hanging out together and they did some beautiful alcohol ink artwork together, and doing one of these was a part of it, and I was very inspired by that, and it's taken me this long to do it. So it was a couple of months ago, but you know, sometimes you just need to wait for things. Both, and okay. You love this idea. I'm going to try it as soon as I get some masking fluid. Awesome. It's lovely, Tracey. Thanks, Gina. I appreciate that. I can't wait to share it with Clara and Erika. And before as soon as I get to this end one again, I'll just show everybody the masking fluid, because I had purchased a masking fluid that was different. It wasn't super fine that this is, and it just came in a bottle, so I tried to put it into one of my tip bottles. And it just still didn't seem as fine. It was very flat, and yeah, so I sort out these ones here, which are the ones that were used also in the video. So that looks like it. I don't think I have missed any dots. There we go. Super duper happy with that. Try and get you into a good placement. Sorry about all that movement. Yeah. So this one here, it's lovely. Me too. Me three. Are you worried about rubbing off the alcohol ink? I was initially, and if you want to take the time, absolutely, let's get a pair of tweezers and you could pick up the strips with tweezers if you don't want to feel like rubbing. I started with that on about my first 5 strings here, and picking up the dots, but then tried it with just rubbing it with my hand, and the lines were still crisp. The masking fluid was really dry before I used the alcohol ink on it, and the alcohol ink was completely dry before I started that as well. So I was pretty nervous using my finger to rub it, but once I realized that that was a really good and extremely effective, much faster than the tweezers, I did the rest with my fingers. So if you're a little bit nervous, try it on a scrap piece off to the side. Maybe that's what I can suggest for that one. Beautiful, your favorite colors. I know, it's such a great combination. Thank you so much for the compliment. Gorgeous, pretty, stunning. Love it, love it, love it. You guys, you're awesome. Thank you so much. This was the masking fluid. So fine line, super nib fine tip. So it looks so amazing, Tracy. Thank you, Trey. Inspiring, thank you. My pleasure. And this was completely inspired by 2 other amazing artists. So Clara Lawrence and Erika Bauer. Both from Clara Lawrence Art and Artists Till Death. So there we go. I am super stoked with that. They did theirs on a cradle board. This is just on Yupo paper. So you can frame it, attach it to a cradle board itself, trim it down and resin it, anything like that. But I'm so excited that I finally got to this and stoked with the results. So I will come down, we'll pan over it and have a quick check out of the details around the dots and the lines, and then we'll sign off for the night. So if you've got any more questions, please pop it in the chat box now. That way, if we have any lag or delays, we should be able to see it before we sign off. Okay, so up here, so you can use the UV archival matte spray before you peel it too. Yep, awesome, Gina Bina, thank you. I just like to look in this green area here. Maybe I need an actual pointer. In here. I love that. And you can see the beautiful round dots. And when you get into the deeper, darker, highly pigmented areas, you can still see how crisp these lines are. They're gorgeous. And these little pearly ones, I think that was in the beginning. If you go a little bit slow or something, I was just getting those little lumps in there. So a mixed array of colours. I love how it turned out. I like to go into this purple here. You can see where the alcohol ink would flow either side of the dots. Wow, look at that. Love this section here. You can see green, you can see blue, you can see the purple. Looks like also possibly a little bit of magenta down here at the bottom. So there we go. And oh, I'm so thrilled for that. There we go. Leave your smack bang full shot if I can in the middle. This camera arm has a mind of its own. What am I trying to do? Alrighty. So, Trey, go get some alcohol inks for Nicole now. Absolutely. Hop on it. We'll have to watch again from the beginning so I can copy. Hope that's okay. Absolutely, that is okay. I'm pleased that you found as much enjoyment out of this and inspiration. So, really happy. Go for it. Good night. Thanks for sharing. Good night to you. Well, good day to you, Doris. I hope you have a wonderful day today. You've made my night awesome. Thrilled with that, Sue. Yep. Have a great day, night, everybody. I hope you catch me next time too, Serene. Thank you. Good night, everyone from Twisted. Christine, good night all. Great as usual. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Great night of alcohol ink art. Thank you so much. It is very pleasing. I'm so excited to do this and excited to share the results with them as well. So if you have to go anywhere, please take care. It is important because you are important. And from myself always, be kind, be creative, and be fabulous. Bye.